Hello troops and welcome back to the channel, and today on our upload we're going to be highlighting a few key points that came out of the live stream last night. There's going to be a good 10-15 minute clip this, so watch. There's a few questions came out of it that I want to highlight in today's video because I think they were pertinent and we didn't talk enough about it in the live stream. As always guys, I do make it clear that during the live stream we will skip over a few things, but we will highlight that content in a video upload so we can create and continue the debate further, okay? But yeah, this is going to be a good one, this guys. If you can smash the like button, subscribe to the channel as usual, and members, thank you very much for joining the club. I really do appreciate that. The link is in the description for that as well. But I guess the main kind of question that is associated with this, what's going to come out in the next clip, is one, will Sweden be getting involved? We've seen an update on Russians and using aircraft actually, going into basically Swedish airspace, all right, near the Gothland areas. That's a big development, all right, when they start pushing their weight around. That's one question that we're going to highlight. And two, the Russian conscripts, it's alleged that on the initial first wave, the Russians were utilizing out-of-date kit and conscripts, all right, people who were in their 1 or 2 years worth of conscription, i.e. national service. So people who don't really want to fight, don't really want to be there. If that is true and it's got some substance to it, then we're going to highlight a few things with regards to that, whether or not it was strategically a good choice. I personally think it was absolutely stupid. If that is the case, it doesn't make any strategic sense whatsoever to put conscripts and ill-experienced people on the front line for the first wave. But we're going to develop and get into that a little bit further, guys. But enjoy this next clip. It's they've got a few things that's going to come out of it, guys, okay? The Russian guy on DW Network. I haven't been on DW Network either, to be fair. I might look that up after this. Thank you for your super chat. Kempachi again, Zaraki, with your super chat. You're saying, I'm an American. I agree with you, but I think this needs to stop. It's looking a lot like World War II and how Hitler just pushed and pushed. Yeah, we've seen someone who's desperate, and in desperate times, desperate measures, desperate things occur. I think the fact that a lot of these skirmishes in certain areas aren't really going fully his way is going to add fuel to the fire, to be honest with you. I think Putin's that type of man who's not really going to take these small-scale defeats happily. He's not going to be happy about that at all. That convoy situation, I still can't believe that, guys. If anyone's got any more information on that, please drop a comment on there. But if that doesn't piss Putin off, you know, he must be so angry at his senior staff, the generals. Who are the people, the decision makers on the ground? It shows how disorganized it is. A disorganized military, for me, is proof that the leadership is failing from the top, because the guys at the bottom, fueling vehicles up is a job at the bottom, all right? But it's up to the people at the top to ensure that these basic things get done. This type of stuff in the Royal Marines is unheard of. Vehicles not being fueled, rations not being carried. Like your G4 supply chain to be able to resupply on the ground. All of this takes part in the planning stages, months and months before any of these major. I mean, he's invading a bloody country, for Christ's sake. He's not doing a section attack across a woodblock. He's invading a massive country, and the supply chain's just fallen at the start. It ceased to exist from the start. It's terrible. It is embarrassing. I don't think Putin's going to be taking that one too happily. Yeah, thank you for your super chat, buddy. What else have we got here? Kempachi again with the super chat. You're saying Russia is looking bad right now. It's showing their weaknesses. I agree. Bob Gable is saying, wouldn't we normally bomb from air and artillery for days before moving in? Yes. From a tactical standpoint, from a traditional tactical standpoint, that's what I would like to think we would do. However, it's not we in this situation. It's Russia. They haven't really done that. There's a theory behind that. And I hinted on that theory a few moments ago in terms of why would they do that? Some would say Putin's holding back. He's better soldiers. He's better forms of artillery. He's going to try and demoralize and what's the word, and fatigue the Ukrainians. But in doing so, the morale of his own troops will be rock bottom, all right? No one wants to just go into battle undermanned, under-skilled, under-equipped, just to get killed, just for a tactical decision, do they? You'd like to think that they're going to bombard them first, use all of the decent assets to their advantage, and then send the guys in. Even if they are ill-equipped, ill-trained, if you bombarded the areas first and then just sent the ground troops in, as we've traditionally done in the past, and it's worked very, very well around the world throughout the generations over, I don't know why he's not thinking that way. It tells me that, again, they're just not as good as everyone has anticipated they would be. The stereotype hasn't lived up to the hype. Do you understand, Bob? That's my take on it. Again, it's just an opinion. That's all we've got on here, guys. Opinions. Wow, we've got 976 concurrent viewers, nearly pushing that 1,000 mark. As soon as we push that 1,000 mark, guys, start spamming the chat with a thumbs up so I know, because I don't always keep an eye on the concurrent viewers. And let's smash that like button, troops. Let's get those likes over 1,000 on today's stream. Thanks for being here. If you've just joined in, guys, you're in for a treat today. And hopefully you guys have missed the bits that you have missed. You can watch it back later on. But good question, Bob. I understand where you come from there from a tactical standpoint. Interesting. Hey, Victor Garul, my buddy, my good old buddy, is back in the chat. Nice to see you here every single day, Victor. It's good to speak to you again. What are you saying? You're saying Russians' 40-mile convoy is running out of gas and food 18 miles out of Kiev, and some Russian troops are sabotaging their own equipment. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's a latest update then. They were 40-mile convoy is running out of gas. I heard a lot of different stories stating that a lot of them have run out of gas, and they're literally stood there as a result of that. You know, weakness is the thing is, why is Ukraine not pushing that situation now? Then why are they not putting some of their focus and efforts there? Maybe it's a diversion. Maybe it's done on purpose so they can divert their attention, get out of Kiev, and somewhere else they're going to launch a different attack from the flank. That's the only reason I could see them doing that. But again, from what I've seen so far, I don't think it is a diversion. I think they've generally run out of fuel and they haven't planned. They've got piss poor planned, to be fair. Victor Garul, thank you for your super chat question, buddy. Gerald Armstrong, thank you for your super chat. You're saying, hey, Commando, trying to find a live stream that only tactical and not political. I think the old Russian tech and conscription is the problem from the first wave. Yeah, you've put it better than what I did initially. Old Russian tech is being used, is what they're saying in this initial first wave, and it's conscripts. I.e. the national service, the guys who haven't volunteered, those who've done a few weeks training, have to serve a year. It's those guys who's got sent in. It does show. But again, that's going to affect the morale of the military. I think it would have been better to embed them soldiers, the conscripts, in and mix them in with those who have experience, and put them in with better kit and mix that better kit with some of the old kit as well. So you've got a mix. It doesn't make sense to just barrage Ukraine on an invasion on a world scale. All right, the whole world's watching at you. The whole world's watching with glaring eyes, and yeah, you're sending conscripts in an old kit. To me, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, you might have a point there, Jared. And it's something that's been spoken about, and I've seen it a few times in different news articles. Thank you for your super chat, Darth Cynical. I appreciate that, buddy. What are you saying? Do you think they are probing Ukraine defense and NATO with conscripts and cannon fodder, perhaps holding back for options? If that makes any sense. Thanks for the commentary. Yeah, similar to what Gerald said. But to me, it just seems like such a waste when you could have used and embedded those ill-experienced soldiers and old kit in with better kit and more experienced soldiers and had a better outcome from the start, and your morale would have been higher. It doesn't make any sense to start getting rid of cannon fodder, so to speak. All right, those days are surely should be left back in World War I and II. We've came a long way from that. Why isn't Russia? Why haven't they learned that doesn't work? Okay. Such loss of life, great loss of life. And I'm not sympathizing with anyone. As you know, guys, I try to stay pretty neutral on things, and I just try and report based off the news, okay? But at the end of the day, there's lives on both sides being lost here, and that's the problem that I have, okay? Life is life at the end of the day. Through bad political decisions, innocent people are losing their lives on both sides. That's what we have to remember here. You're also saying, Darth, thanks for the commentary. My pleasure, my friend. Thanks for the super chat and being here. It's much appreciated. Def Tony again with the super chat. What are you saying? Old defector here say for the suitcases, which is why I said potentially. Could the convoy be dumb on purpose to root out potential defectors? Not saying it goes his way, even if all this is the case. All defectors here say for the suitcases, which is why I said potential. Could the convoy be dumb on purpose to root out potential defectors? I don't think so. I don't see the logic in that. But then again, I don't see the logic in the invasion either. So there's not a logic in this war. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of logic. Bit of a tongue twister that. Thank you for your super chat, Def Tony. I don't know, buddy. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit more on that. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I can't see the logic in it. Bob Gable, again, thank you for your super chat. You're saying, do you think it's possible the Russians just remove Putin? That was mentioned yesterday. In terms of you're asking, do the Russians just remove Putin? Are we talking about the leadership who's surrounding him at this moment in time, the disgruntled leadership, the leaders in certain areas of his political cabinet, so to speak, who are scared to death of him? So really, their decisions are just the yes man decisions to keep a certain guy happy. Those people, I don't think they've got the backbone, to be fair. I think they've been terrorized and petrified for so long that they just haven't got it anymore. Their mentality is weak. So I don't think he's at risk of anything like that. I don't think the cowboy and western days of taking people out in that way exist anymore. I just don't think we're going to see that. I could be wrong though, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. If I'm honest, I don't think that's what's going to happen. But interesting point you made there, Bob. Thank you. Right, I need to scroll back up for these questions. Where are we at? Got quite a few super chats come through. Sorry, guys, I need to catch up. Right, so I can only go so far up. Hopefully, I haven't missed any out. If I have, my massive apologies. But the next super chat that I can see is from Aku42. Would you again fight for freedom if Russia starts World War III? I would if I have to, yeah. But I think the normal guy in my street would as well. If we have to, yes. The only difference is, would I be more suited because of my training? Partially. But yeah, goes without saying. If I had to fight for freedom, if it was like, yeah, you're getting called up, there's no real choice in the matter, and it's for this reason, if it's to protect my family and home, yes, is the answer, in short. Thank you for your super chat. Daniel Hackinson, hey, thank you for the massive 500 sec. That is the biggest super chat of the live stream. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. What are you saying? As of a few hours ago, 4 Russian aircrafts violated Swedish airspace near Gothland Island in the Baltic Sea. Gothland Island is the most strategic place in the north of Europe. It is confirmed by the Swedish Armed Forces. Slashed greetings from Sweden. Yeah, well, if it's north near where Sweden is and stuff like that, we've there's always a contingent of British military in the northern flank for that very reason, to protect that corridor. There's Royal Marines go out there for 3 months every year. In fact, there'll be Royal Marines out there right now. I have no doubt about that. So yeah, they're messing with the wrong guys if they want to go into that area. You know, we've got very specialized individuals from Britain, Sweden, and Norway and Finland in them operating in those areas. So be it at their own peril. But thank you for that very, very massive super chat. I appreciate that, brother. AW is saying, do you think China will use this war to make a move on Taiwan while all the attention is on Russia? Yes, I do think they will. That's my personal opinion. I do think they will not necessarily use this war, but they'll certainly capitalize on the fact that this is occurring. I think they will. That's just my opinion. I think they're going to try their luck, but I don't think they'll capitalize on it just yet. I think they want it to escalate further, wait until NATO intervenes, maybe see some American troops on the ground, and then they'll do it. Why? Because we'll have other people in other areas focusing on Ukraine. And not Taiwan. Does that make sense? That's my take on it. Again, it's just an opinion. Brad Claxton, thank you for your super chat. You're saying, I think the reason they are so disorganized is most of the Russian military didn't know they were invading. If you believe the Russian prisoner of wars, I think the reason they are disorganized is most of the Russian militaries didn't know they were invading. Really? Well, actually, yeah, they're so segregated with information. Obviously, the communist regime, the information that they get is restricted. In the free world, where we can digest as much information as we want. We've got a lot more access to different things. I can imagine being in certain parts of the military in Russia, you're pretty much segregated from the outside world if they wanted you to be. So, yeah, it's a very good point there, Brad. Thank you for your super chat. Tyler Dowdy, thank you for your super chat, brother. Turkey is claiming one of their fighter jets were shot down over the Black Sea. We've heard a few stories of that, and we're going to look into the map. I'm sure we'll see. Okay then, troops. So that was some snippets from last night's live stream, okay? And there's a few pertinent things that came out of that. Again, I do watch the live streams back so I can get a feel and a gist of what's being said in the live chat. And out of that 15-minute clip or so, there's 4 things that I want to kind of address. And I'd like to see some of the answers that you've got to say in the comments section below. And the first thing that I think we want to talk about is conscribes. Is there any meat to put on the bones of the conscribe narrative? Because the only thing that we've got going for that information at this moment in time is the fact that Russia's been doing pretty bad on a lot of their little skirmishes that they've been doing. They haven't really been performing as lethally as we expected them to be based on the stereotype of Russia. So conscribes, is it really conscription? Is it really those individuals with a lack of experience on the battlefield at this moment in time? Or is it just the hype hasn't quite lived up to the expectations? The reality is they're just not as good as we thought they were. I'll let you decide that. That's a very interesting first point I want you guys to answer on below. So Sweden involvement. Let's just cut to the chase with this. The fact that you've seen, I think there was 4 Russian aircraft in the Gothland areas, obviously a Swedish territory. Are we going to see an involvement from Sweden? Are we going to see a direct are we going to see them retaliate in some way, shape or form? We've already seen sanctions being put in place via Norway in terms of the economy, all right? Certain things that was being invested via Russia from Norway, it's all been stopped now, so they're losing out on massive amounts of money in that respect. Will Sweden do something similar in terms of sanctions? Will they have more of a military reaction? Because as a country, Sweden has learned from the past. They're quite a vulnerable country in terms of the problem that Russia is facing. Maybe face a very similar problem to Ukraine, for that matter. So that's another thing I wanted to highlight. The Swedish, are they going to get involved? And if so, what way? Let me know below. A convoy. That convoy thing has been bothering me for a while. I'm yet to look into it a little bit further today to see if there's been any more developments, because we're going to highlight that tonight on the live stream. But I want to know what your thoughts is on this convoy. For me, I've had a bit of a think about it today, and I think that convoy has been spoken about as being a diversion. I don't think Putin has came up with the idea, or his senior military leaders has come up with the idea of putting a 40-mile long diversion 20 minutes out from Kiev. What kind of diversion is that? You don't need 40 miles worth of kit and equipment to divert people's attention. So I don't think it's a diversion at all. I just think it's incompetence. I think it's piss poor plan, and I think it's showing the lack of effect that they're having. All right, I think it's a bad decision make, and I think it's embarrassing. That's my personal opinion. But what do you think? Maybe you know a little bit more on that situation than I do. So I would like you guys to answer fully below in the comment section about the convoy being a potential diversion. My thoughts is it's not. And the last point, the most pertinent point, I've got to be careful how I word this. this came up a few times, and I've seen different news articles and stuff kind of swaying towards the potential for this to happen. But I want to know how. And the question is, will Russia remove Putin from power, inverted brackets, somehow? And I highlight the somehow bit because how do you take a man like Putin out of power? I'll leave it there with that question, guys. Hopefully I can get some thorough answers below. Let's create a debate about this. There's some real good points coming out. All of this information helps the general narrative a little bit better. So if you're thinking about commenting and you maybe not too sure about commenting, just drop a comment down there anyway. You never know. You might enlighten someone. But that's that for today's upload. We will be uploading a live stream tonight. Getting back into the meat of this. I think we're only just beginning on this coverage, guys. I was expecting it to be said and done by now. All right, I didn't think it would still be going on 6 days in. I thought there would have been some form of change and some form of resolution. It looks like it's getting worse day by day. This is the best channel to stay up to date with information. And like always, guys, we just try our best. So make sure you tune in tonight. And that's that. Other than that, troops, whatever you're doing, stay safe out there. Peace.